How we doing, guys? Sam and Steve back with this week's fishing report for you. We got a lot of good stuff going on out there. The weather is certainly starting to warm up. We do have a little bit of cold weather coming up this weekend, but that should not be a deterrent to get out there. Fish are starting to move. It is certainly springtime. So I think what most folks are in our area are particularly looking for is always the rockfish. So the bite's been pretty good out there, especially on the resident fish. Some of the bigger migratory fish have definitely slowed down. There's been a lot of post-spawn fish kind of moving south, shallow, up on the flats on the main stem of the bay. Those fish have really had a lot of lockjaw, but some of the baits that have been working for them have been some like twitch baits or subsurface baits like that have been really productive for them. And then the resident fish, you're catching those in the same places you would in the summer months. And what kind of stuff are they throwing for those?
I mean, people are still jigging for them. People are going shallow for them. Just the big thing now is going to be to downsize those plastics because those big fish obviously are leaving. So you're going to want to downsize a little bit to get the smaller fish biting.
Yeah, absolutely. The white perch have been a little tricky. They're kind of in that weird phase where they just finish up their spawn, but they're not quite down to those summertime locations out on the main parts of the rivers and bay. You can catch them kind of in between those zones, kind of like the middle parts of your rivers. A lot of the tactics you would use in the summer, small spinners, whether it's beetle spins or perch hounders, things like that can be productive for those fish. Probably not going to see them out in open water yet where you're going to be able to like jig sabikis and stuff. That's still to come as you get later into May. So what about catfish?
Catfish, people are jigging for them right now. Nice vertical jigging. They're doing well as that water temp warms up. They're definitely starting to come out a little more. People are getting blue cats real well.
Yeah, so especially up in DC and some of those upper areas, jigging for worm has been productive in kind of their spawning areas. And then more towards out on the main bay side, your traditional bait and bottom rigs are always easy to use and super effective. A rig that works for that is just this little high-low rig. Simple circle hooks, put a weight on the bottom, and you're basically fishing. So you don't need too much for them. Any sort of cut bait, whether it's LY or shad, it can get you on them pretty good.
Yeah.
So moving down towards the beach a little bit, down towards the ocean. The surf has been great from Assateague all the way up to Cape Henlopen for your drum. Drum have been super easy to come by, it seems. A lot of big fish have been caught in the surf. We're really using the same rigs here. It's just a simple high-low rig that you can either put a strip of fish bites on there in conjunction with a clam or even a sand flea. Anything like that can get you on those bites. Rockfish have been occasionally caught in the surf too, which is nice to see. Bluefish should be on their way here in the next couple of weeks. That's kind of when that heats up from the surf. Casting a lot of like SB minnows and Yo-Zuri swimming baits, plugs like that can be really good for those bluefish when they show up in the surf. So moving towards freshwater, Steve, what's kind of going on there?
Same thing with that water warming up. You're going to be able to start throwing some moving baits, upper bay. People are starting to hit on some largemouths in the way up North Bay. Something like this little crankbait here would work well, or you could throw spinners, throw some chatterbait, stuff like that. Those moving baits are definitely going to start hitting a lot more now.
Yeah, it's nice with the moving baits now. We can fish a lot of the treble hook baits that we can't typically fish in the warmer months without all that grass in the way. As far as snakehead goes, it's been pretty decent the past couple weeks. Now we do have a good bit of a cold spell coming this weekend. Going to have some weather pushing in. So that's the time to slow down for these fish. So the same areas that you've typically fished them for them, the upper rivers in anywhere on the eastern shore, whether you're Nanticoke, Choptank, all the way up through the Transquakin and the Chickamaucomico and all through Blackwater. I would really size down and fish more finesse stuff, whether it's like a really light finesse chatterbait like this from High Octane. This is an awesome option, comes with plastic or whatever you want to put behind it. Or even going down to something like an inline spinner. These High Octane ones are fabulous. We like these here at the shop, really well made, good componentry. That's what I'd be fishing, your MEPs, your inline spinners, those kind of slow profiles. You don't want to be having those big noisy chatterbaits or big topwater baits that have a lot of movement this time.
Absolutely.
So I think that just about wraps it up, and we look forward to seeing you guys out. Thanks.
Have a good one.